Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped back for another Optc video, and in today's video, we're doing a little bit of a part 2 of the BlackBeard V1 6+ showcase, as he is the newest super evolution on Optc Global, and in today's video, we're hopping into Revolutionary Army 2. Now, before I continue, I do want to give a huge shout out to PeaChill or CHOO. I did get the inspiration of using a Odin friend captain from him, as I was actually trying to put teams together for this particular piece of content, and it was actually fairly tricky, as the usual way that you actually get around Revolutionary Army 2 is to sort of cheese it with healers, damage reduction, take your time on the Morley stage, get your specials back, and then pop them all at the end. But with BlackBeard, he doesn't have any defensive effects, or you can't use any damage reduction or anything like that. So bringing, being able to do the traditional way, I guess is the best way to put it, was a little bit tricky. Now, I was trying stuff like using like a Big Mom friend captain, a Kaido friend captain, a Roger friend captain, and all of them were doing quite well until I got to the Sabo and Koala stage. Now, the Sabo and Koala stage actually makes all of your orbs unfavorable for 2 turns, and if you don't kill Koala, she basically kills you. So you do want to try and figure out a way to actually take her down. I'm sure there is an actual way, but just with the maintenance coming up, I wanted to try and get these videos done, and I did want to try and get them out. So huge shout out to CHOO. Link will be in the description of his channel and the original video that I did see the Odin captain on. Go check him out. That dude, he makes some wild teams. Very, very hardcore grinder. Definitely deserves a lot of recognition. So make sure you head over there, smash a like button on his video, hit the subscribe button too. The guy is an absolute wizard. But in today's video, we are continuing on with the BlackBeard showcase and sort of just taking him into some of the harder content. If you guys checked out my Dofi 2 video, I will leave a card at the top of the video for you guys if you want to check that out. I've actually had a lot of fun with BlackBeard. Now, the thing with BlackBeard is team building is very, very tricky, and alternative subs, especially for this particular team, is a little bit tricky. I think CHOO actually had Baccarat instead of Kaku on his team, and I think he was using a different ship that I was, and obviously the supports are probably different as well. But with this particular setup, it is a little bit finicky, and bringing other characters like Luffy Sanji is pretty much an essential unit, as we are using the Nami support, and the Pudding is actually replaceable with someone like Chopper, but you will have to do a lot more stalling on the Morley stage to get the special back. So utilizing Pudding is pretty much your only other option, as you need paralysis, despair, and blind removal. Now, the downside to BlackBeard, like I mentioned, is you do need a fighter, slasher, striker, and shooter. So finding different alternatives for this particular team is a little bit tricky, and bringing Shanks' crew is like, I wouldn't say essential, but it definitely helps out quite a lot. It's getting that extra attack every single turn, as well as getting matching orbs for this particular stage. I got fairly lucky, but you can use the switch ability before you use the Odin special. That way you can turn all of your orbs into TND. So that was the big reason that we wanted to bring Odin on this particular team. Odin's not crucial in terms of the criteria of BlackBeard, but he is a slasher, so he does help out there if you don't have Kaku and you did want to use Baccarat. I'm pretty sure that's how CHOO did it. But like I was saying, the 6+ BlackBeard, he really doesn't have that many other options, purely because his captain ability is so specific. Now, as I mentioned in Dofi 2, the biggest downfall that I find to BlackBeard, well, 2 big downfalls actually. The first one being is he doesn't get around base defense. He goes through damage reduction, thresholds, barriers, all that kind of stuff. But if they have defense up, he can't actually just burst his way through it. Or if they have very, very strong base defense, he doesn't get through it either. And the fact that we lose basically all of our defense utilizing BlackBeard as a captain, so damage reduction sockets don't matter, poison sockets, they don't matter. I imagine resilience sockets, they wouldn't matter either. Any damage reduction specials, thresholds, rainbow shield, all of that kind of stuff, when you use it with BlackBeard, actually gets reduced to 0. So it's basically just a waste of time on his particular team. But the upside is you do go through those other defensive effects. I just really wish that he would mainly go through defense up. And because of that, that's why we are using the Nami support, or the Onami support, on our Luffy and Sanji. Now, as you can see on that particular stage, we do use the Luffy Sanji special with the carryover of Shanks' chain lock, and then we can just use BlackBeard's special there to take out Morley, as it is a damage dealing special. That's pretty much the only reason BlackBeard's here, besides obviously being a showcase, and he is our captain. But other than that, he doesn't really hold that much impact for the entire team. The second big downfall that I do find to BlackBeard is that he isn't one of the original classes, being fighter, striker, shooter, or slasher. I would have actually really enjoyed if they changed his classes on his super evolution. Maybe give him shooter, as Shooter is like very, very hard to find on his team. Or even if they really wanted to buff this unit, they could have even done something like Striker and Shooter, as he's always got a gun. He's now got the Whitebeard, Quake Fruit. So there is that particular part of him that I really wish they probably incorporated. That way, just team building with this particular unit would have freed up a lot more space, as once you do have the 4 original classes just on the team, you can get the full captain ability for all of your characters. Now, BlackBeard does have a very good limit break key. I don't recommend limit break keying him, but if you really enjoy running this unit, if you really just like cheesing your way through barriers and hybriding out with some very good captains, stuff like Kaido, stuff like Roger, Odin, as you can see here, you can even use stuff like Luffy Sanji, original Snake Man. There are a lot of very good options for you guys to actually utilize when you are using BlackBeard. So I really wish that he did have like at least one of the classes. If you had 2, like that would be awesome. But finding subs just like this Kaku here, who is a striker and a slasher, are the best possible units to be using with someone like BlackBeard, as that way you don't have to worry about bringing other units to sort of satisfy that criteria. Now, there is a little bit of a cheese, as you'd never really need to run 2 BlackBeards. It's pretty impractical. With his super evolution, he does get block orb manipulation, which is great. He also removes bind, and as a captain, he makes dex orbs matching. He does get a little bit of a higher base multiplier as well, provided you have those 4 classes. But running 2 BlackBeards it's pretty much unrealistic, as the big upside to his special is his damage, the 30% HP cut. And because there are normal attacks only and other things like that, bringing another one doesn't provide the team too much. So whenever you are using this unit, I would highly recommend hybriding him up, like most of the 6+ nowadays. Fortunately, 6+ have been a little bit lackluster, but I mean, they can still get the job done. I just wish that they put a little bit more effort into super evolutions like they did back in the day. Back in the day, like, super evolutions were just so damn good. Making old units viable again is one of the best things you can possibly do, especially for gacha games. And I think it's something that Dokkan does really, really well with their Easy A system. And I just really wish that Optc would go back into the swing of making these 6+ actually very, very good, or somewhat on par to some of the older legends that have come out within the last year. As for endgame players that have some of the best legends in the game, there's very limited times you're actually going to be using these units. But the nostalgia effect does kick in, and using someone like BlackBeard, especially for me, who was one of my original captains, is a lot of fun. So I did have a lot of fun putting together this showcase. I'm going to leave you with the rest of this clip now, guys. Actually, no, I think there's one more thing I want to talk about with BlackBeard. The big upside to BlackBeard as well is he can actually utilize a lot of ships, as he is a powerhouse unit and he is a dex unit. So as you can see on this particular team, we are utilizing the Victoria Punk to get some more T&D orbs, which is great for Odin, as our captain is a dex unit as well. That is great. It gives us a little bit of extra attack multiplier. You can use stuff like Shark Superb, so if you are using him for Kazuna or whatnot, you can get the extra damage out. Because he's a powerhouse, you can build a powerhouse cerebral base team. That way you can use the Zunisha. You can also use things like his own ship, the one from the forest. If you have the 4 base classes, you can get all those buffs. Or you can also use stuff like the OGs, the Merry-Go and the Moby Dick. But that's going to conclude the showcase for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, make sure to go down there and belt the like button for me. And if you're new to my channel and you're enjoying the OPTC content, we do upload every single day. Make that big red subscribe button gray. And for all you bloody legends who are already subscribers, consider becoming members today. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, make sure to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, I thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you all in the next one. Lights! Shout out to Editor Kroobs.